Malinaw po, 160 million yung unang delivery kay Chis Escudero. Pangalawang delivery po, 120 million. Or a total mga kababayan of 280 million. Magkano mga kababayan? Ang salin ni Chis Escudero, ang net worth, 18 million. Pinakang pobre. Pinakang pobreng senador. Pero kaya niya na magregalo kay Hart ng 57 million worth na singsing. At sa Alpha Land, mga kababayan, may worth 120 million daw na tirahan doon. Yan ang mga lumabas na kwento. Hello po mga kababayan, si Dante Maravillas. So, paano yan? Tama mga kababayan yung ating mga theories in analysis, yung ating hula na yung surprise witness mga kababayan ni Marcoleta talagang hindi na po aapir. Hindi na nagpakita po mga kababayan, pati si Marcoleta hindi na nag-attend. Totally kasi mga kababayan, nasunog. Ito yung Senate hearing ng Blue Ribbon. Mga kababayan, ayan, sasama ng OSA, yung mag-asawang Diskaya, para umuwi muna, para hanapin yung ledger na sinasabi nila mga kababayan. Yan ang live feed mula sa Senado. Yan o. O ngayon, nadagdagan pa yung mga senador na sabit. 7 mga senador ang sabit. Ang mga bagong pangalan, mga kababayan na na-mention, inulgar ni Yusek Bernardo, si Mark Villar, si Sani Angara, si Grace po, at saka si Chis Escudero. Si Nancy Binay, dati na itong na-mention noon. Ayan o. Former DPWH Yusek Roberto Bernardo said in his affidavit that he is compelled to come clean. He also urged other people involved to come out and cooperate in the investigation. In his supplementary affidavit, Bernardo named former Senators Bong Revilla, Nancy Binay, and Grace Poe, along with incumbent Senators Chis Escudero and Jingo Estrada in relation to the flood control anomalies. Hindi na mention dito, kasama din si Mark Villar na incumbent senator and former DPWH Secretary. Tapos si Sani Angara, nakaligtaan siguro ng GMA. 7 mga senador mga kababayan. Si Sani Angara, DepEd Secretary. Sinasabi, mga kababayan, sa supplemental affidavit ni Yusek Bernardo na tumanggap din ng kickback. Ito, linista ko. Mga kababayan, kanina nag-jot down ako. Kay Bong Revilla, 25% daw. Si Nancy Binay, 15%. Si Chis Escudero, 20%. ng 1.5 billion. Tapos, unang delivery kay Chis Escudero, 160 million. Next delivery po, 120 million. Si Jingo Estrada, 25% ng 1 billion. Si Grace po, 20% din ng 500 million. Si Mark Villar, 10% daw nung siya secretary pa ng DPWH. Sa mga congressmen na na-mention mga kababayan, si Mitch Kahayon Oy, dati na ito na na-mention, si Flerida Robis, tapos si dating ako Bicol Party List Representative Saldico, nang sabi, ito yung mga sa personal knowledge niya, tumanggap mga kababayan ng kickback. Asan si Martin Romualdez? Wala talaga pong kaso kay Martin Romualdez. Tama yung ating Pangulong Bongbong. Yung nag-uugnay kay Martin Romualdez mga kababayan na lone witness, si Gutesa, hindi na nagpakita. Hindi niya kaya, mga kababayan, hindi niya kasi kaya panindigan yung kanyang affidavit. Ang una nang nasunog, kasi po mga kababayan, yung affidavit niya, mismong yung notaryo po, peke. So tama yung ating mga analysis, yung ating theory, yung mga pa-interview ni Marcoleta sa Billionaire News, sineset niya yung yung mode, yung isipan ng mga ng mga mamayang Filipino talagang isiniset niya doon sa kanilang plano na hindi na po ipakita si Gutesa. Sinuportahan ang statement ni Amy Marcos kahapon. Malinaw po, mga kababayan, yung script nila. Hindi umubra yung kanilang script na iugnay sa insertions and anomalies sa flood control projects si dating Speaker Martin Romualdez. At mismo yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kahapon nagsabi. Yan ang sabi ng ating Pangulo, Romualdez not yet included in case referrals of ICI, sabi ng ating Pangulo. Sabi dito sa report ng Manila Bulletin, Abante echoes Marcos remarks, lack of evidence versus Romualdez a fact. Wala pong ebidensya laban kay walang kaso kay Martin Romualdez. Pilit lang nila na sinisiraan si Martin Romualdez kasi pinopolitika nila. Gusto nilang durugin na ngayon kasi nakikita nila si Martin Romualdez baka maging successor ng ating Pangulong Bongbong. Ang gusto nila, mga kababayan, walang maging malakas na kalaban si Sara Duterte sa 2028 presidential election. Yan mismo. Kaya mga kababayan, pinipilit nila na isabit si Martin Romualdez sa mga anomalya. Wala man pong ebidensya. Ito yung press con ng ating Pangulo kahapon, pakinggan ninyo.
One more point on your presentation. Very obvious, very noticeable po na marami sa mga pangalan binanggit ninyo, DPWH officials, contractors, pero kakaunti, if at all, yung mga nabanggit na legislators who are.
Well, no, they're part of the list. We'll give you the complete list. I just didn't go through them because there are like 37 of them. So you'll get, as I said, you'll get a briefer, which will give you more detail on all of the things that I've said today.
Is the former speaker included in the list, sir?
I don't think so because no. The only evidence that has been made against him is in the Senate. So I don't know. No, with the speaker, no. Not as yet. Not as yet. If something else comes out, then he might have to be answerable for something. So, again, we don't file cases for optics. We file cases to put people in jail or to make people answer. I know that there are many suggestions of who else we should file cases against. Well, we're fine with that. Provide us the evidence and we will file cases against them. Kaya sinabi ko, napakahalaga yung sumbong sa Pangulo. Dahil marami kaming nakukuhang informasyon dyan. So, pagpatuloy ninyo yung inyong pagsumbong. At bigyan nyo kami ng lahat ng ebidensya na meron kayo para magamit natin, para kasuhan kahit sino. Walang immune dito walang exempted dito sa mga investigasyon na ito. Alright?
Kung gusto ninyong kasuhan si Martin Romualdez, magpakita kayong ebidensya. Hindi yung lahat lang haka-haka, lahat kwento. Yung testigo ninyo nga, yung witness ninyo si Gutesa, hindi na nagpakita sa Senado. Anong ibig sabihin? Ang ibig sabihin malinaw. Walang ebidensya. Yung affidavit niya, hindi po kaya niyang panindigan, kaya hindi na siya nagpakita pa. At malamang sa malamang, tinago na nila. Kasi, pag pinakita nila si Gutesa at nag-isa sa Senado, trinos examine, sigurado mga kababayan, mangangamote si Gutesa kung paano niya papatunayan na si Martin Romualdez ay tumanggap ng kickback. Hindi niya masusubstantiate yung kanyang script na malamang pinapirman lang sa kanya. At pinabasa lang sa kanya, mga kababayan. Alam na ninyo kung sino yung salarin. Pati yung nagpabasa sa kanya ng affidavit, hindi na nag-attend. Hindi na sumipot sa Senado. Sa pag-resume, mga kababayan, ng Senate hearing. Yan ba? Wala dyan. Sa Senate hearing ngayon. Hindi na nag-appear pati si Marcoleta. Pati yung mga dating senador na very active. Nung ang chairman si Marcoleta ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, wala si Amy Marcos. Wala si Bongo. Si Bato, hindi na yun magpapakita. Wala si Jinggoy. Wala si Villanueva. Wala. Pag ang chairman si Marcoleta, nandyan sila. Pero pag si Ping Lacson, ayaw nila. Kasi hindi nila kayang paikutin itong si Ping Lacson, mga kababayan. Si Ping Lacson, he is for the truth. Hindi po for politics. Kasi si Ping Lacson, pagdating po sa pork barrel, sa mga SOPs, malinis po si Ping Lacson pagdating dyan. Walang kickback. Hindi niya nakaugaliang tumanggap ng SOP, ng kickback, mga kababayan. Hindi nangingialam. Kaya ayaw nila kay Ping Lacson as chairman ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Nakita na ninyo? So kung malinaw sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, walang kaso, walang sabit si Martin Romualdez, ang tanong natin ngayon, bakit hindi pa malinaw sa lahat? Pilit nilang ginugulo ang kwento, mga kababayan. So mismo yung ating Pangulo ang nagsabi, walang kaso si Speaker. Ngayon ang tanong, bakit may mga pasaring pa rin yung iba? Ang sagot po malinaw, dahil kailangan nilang buhayin yung issue para sa kanilang pansariling agenda. Tama pa, pilit nilang dinodumihan si Speaker Martin Romualdez na ang totoong madumi, ang karamihan pong madumi, ang kamay nasa Senado. Sinulgar po ni Yusek Bernardo kanina, tumatanggap ng kickback from 10% to 25%. Dito po, nilista ko Bong Revilla 25%, Nancy Binay 15%, Chis Escudero 20%, Jingo Estrada 25%, Grace po 20% daw. Si Sani Angara, nakalimutan ko kung magkano yung kickback. Siguro reviewin natin mamaya. Si Mark Villar 10%. Sabi kanina po sa statement po ni Yusek Bernardo. Ang unang delivery niya kay Chis Escudero, 160 million. Sunod, 120 million. Ito po, pakinggan natin si Yusek, dating Yusek Bernardo.
Senator Chis Escudero and Maynard Ngu. I met Maynard Ngu at the Manila City Hall during the term of Mayor Erap, and while I was the city engineer of Manila sometime in 2013. Maynard Ngu is a familiar figure in the social political circles, as he would be handling substantial donations to politicians during election season, including the distribution of mobile phones. During the 2022 national elections, Maynard Ngu approached me and asked for help in raising campaign funds. I and other DPWH officials assisted Maynard Ngu in raising campaign funds. These frequent interactions with Maynard Ngu at the court helped me in building our mutual trust with each other, especially in favor of Senator Escudero, whose interest Maynard Ngu was actively promoting. Maynard Ngu was appointed Special Envoy to China for Trade, Investments, and Tourism in 2023. When Senator Chis Escudero became Senate President in 2024, Maynard Ngu approached me and asked for a list of projects for Senator Chis Escudero. Thereafter, sometime November 2024, I asked Engineer Opolencia to prepare a list of projects for Senator Chis Escudero following my conversation with Maynard Ngu. Thereafter, Engineer Opolencia submitted to me a list of projects for funding. The said projects are enumerated in a list here to attach as Annex G. For the projects located in Valenzuela, Engineer Opolencia, through District Engineer Ruel Umali, collected the money for the commitment for Senator Chis Escudero. He delivered the commitment at Diamond Hotel. We saw each other at the Diamond Hotel, and Engineer Opolencia told me, nasa inyo na po, boss. When I asked my driver to confirm, the driver told me, nasa akin na po, okay na po. For the projects located in Marinduque, Engineer Opolencia, through Regional Director Ryan Altea, collected the commitment for Senator Chis Escudero. He delivered to me the commitment at Diamond Hotel. Engineer Opolencia called me and said, may papadala ako sa inyo ngayon. Dadali na lang po sa Diamond. Later, the driver told me, nasa akin na po, okay na po. Following a deeper recollection of the facts and checking with public records, I can now confirm that in addition to the Valenzuela and Marinduque projects, Engineer Opolencia also provided the list of projects for Oriental Mindoro and Quezon City. The complete list of projects for Senator Chis Escudero is worth 1.4 billion with 20% commitment. The said projects are enumerated in a list here to attach as Annex H. Sometime early 2025, I made the first delivery of 160 million for Senator Chis Escudero at the Cherry Mobile Building at Maynard Ngu in Apacible Street, Manila. Thereafter, early 2025, I made the second delivery of 120 million for Senator Chis Escudero, also at the Cherry Mobile Building of Maynard Ngu. Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
Malinaw po, 160 million yung unang delivery kay Chis Escudero. Pangalawang delivery po, 120 million. Or a total mga kababayan of 280 million. Magkano mga kababayan? Ang salin ni Chis Escudero, ang net worth, 18 million. Pinakang pobre. Pinakang pobreng senador. Pero kaya niya na magregalo kay Hart ng 57 million worth na singsing. At sa Alpha Land, mga kababayan, may worth 120 million daw na tirahan doon. Yun ang mga lumabas na kwento. Pero nag-deny doon si Chis. Wala man daw doon siya. Di okay. Pero naniwala kayo na si Chis Escudero, pinakang pobre. 18 million ang salin. Ang net worth niya. Mas mayaman pa si Risa Ontiveros. You see? Pagkatapos, ang ituturo ninyo si Martin Romualdez. Wala sa lista si Martin Romualdez. Ang nagtuturo lang kay Martin, mga kababayan, si Gutesa na hindi na po nagpakita ngayon. As expected natin na yun man talaga yung mangyayari. Kasi sa tono ng mga pananalita ni Marcoleta sa ni Amy Marcos, talagang di na magpapakita si Gutesa. Nasunog yung testimony, mga kababayan. So ang labanan ngayon, propaganda mga kababayan, kanino kayo maniniwala? Sa ating Pangulo o sa propaganda ng mga DDS? Propaganda spin ng mga DDS na puro haka-haka. Di ba? Ngayon, na malinaw na hindi sabit si Martin Romualdez. Cleared ang dating speaker po. Ito ang totoong cleared. Hindi tulad yung sinabi ni Marcoleta kay Jinggoy, safe ka na niya. Hindi safe si Jinggoy. Lalo si Chis Escudero, hindi safe. So ang tanong ng taong bayan, sino ang ayaw mapunta ang lente sa 142 billion na insertion sa Senado? O di ba? Ngayon ang totoong tanong, sino ang may hawak ng 142 billion na insertion? Siyempre yan Mr. Maravillas, mga senador kasi yung nag-insert Senado. O diba? Nag-gets na ninyo kung bakit pilit nilang kinoconfuse ang kwento? Malinaw po kasi, although may mga sabit din ng mga congressmen. And in fact, yun ang sinabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. But other than yung mga nasabit na congressmen na pinapakasuhan na sa ICI, maraming sabit na mga senador. Kaya pilit nila na kino-confuse yung kwento. Nagets na ninyo? Ayan o, malinaw. Pinasabog na ni Yusek Bernardo. Bernardo named former Senators Bong Revilla, Nancy Binay, and Grace Poe along with incumbent Senators Chis Escudero and Jinggoy Estrada. Hindi nabanggit si Mark Villar pero nabanggit dito si Mark Villar, mga kababayan, sa supplemental budget, pati si Sani Angara ni Yusek Bernardo. Karamihan mga Duterte senators, mga kababayan. Kaya pilit nilang nililihis, ginugulo ang investigasyon ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. At gusto nilang agawin kay Ping Lacson, hindi nangyari. Yung chairmanship. Si Ping pa rin ang chairman. You see? At ngayon pala, yung latest po, ay nag-file ng kaso kay Chis Escudero na abogado. Yan o. Escudero, Sorsogon XX hit with graph wraps over 352 million anomalies. Pinailan po ng kaso, mga kababayan. Graph and other criminal complaints have been filed against Senator Francis Chis Escudero and several provincial officials before the Office of the Ombudsman after a private lawyer accused them of orchestrating systematic corruption and financial irregularities amounting to more than 352 million during Escudero's tenure as Sorsogon governor. Attorney Elridge Marvin Asiron filed the complaint on Friday, citing alleged irregularities flagged in the Commission on Audit's COA 2021 report on the Sorsogon provincial government. Aside from Escudero, the following provincial officials were also named as respondents for possible violations of Republic Act number 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, as well as Articles 220, Technical Malversation, 213, Frauds and against public treasury, and 171, Falsification of public documents of the revised penal code. Members of the Bids and Awards Committee, Acting Provincial Accountant Rena Garcia, Provincial General Services Officer Rosalina, surname not indicated, the Provincial Treasurer, name still to be determined. The complaint was filed a month after Aceron also lodged an ethics case against Escudero at the Senate over alleged illegal campaign donations. Siya pala yung nag-file. Aceron said the case involves purported irregularities in potential malversation totaling 352,672,063.46 in public funds during Escudero's administration in Sorsogon. Citing the 2021 COA report, he said auditors flagged 8 questionable transactions, including the 121 million plus in physically impossible overlapping infrastructure contracts awarded to the same contractors using the same personnel and equipment, 15 million plus in national government funds, including 10 million in typhoon relief money that were allegedly unimplemented for up to 6 years, 8 million plus in janitorial and laundry contracts supported by purported falsified documents, conflicting notarizations, and fabricated client references, 1.6 million in TUPAD disbursement with effective signatures, missing authorization in alleged improper implementation by board members, 5.6 million in development projects allegedly charged to the 20% development fund but not included in approved procurement plan, 195 million plus in purported unreliable property, plant and equipment accounts, including ghost assets and demolished structures that remained recorded in government books. So yan mga kababayan ang bagong kaso sa ombudsman ni Chis Escudero. So patong-patong na kaso po ang kinakarap na kaso ni Chis Escudero. Pero ang kanyang tinuturo lagi si Martin Romualdez. Klaro po, walang kaso si Martin. So makikita ninyo ang kwento. Ang ating Pangulo gusto niya solid evidence po. Pero yung mga senador ang gusto entertainment, drama. Hindi umubra yung drama nila po. So kung malinaw sa ating Pangulo na walang ebidensya laban kay Martin Romualdez, dapat malinaw niyan sa ating lahat po. Tapusin na dapat ang ingay. Sundan dapat yung audit. Sa Senado dapat ang tutok ng investigasyon kasi maraming senador ang sabit. At sa latest ngayon po, ang bilang nasa 7 senador na po ang sabit. Former and incumbent senators. Yan po ang malinaw. Kaya wag na po kayong magtaka kung bakit pilit na ginugulo nila ang investigasyon sa Senado sa pamumuno po ni Ping Lacson. Ayaw nila kay Ping Lacson pero hindi umobra yung kanila pong mga drama sa Senado. Nananaig pa rin yung tama. Kaya biglang nag-disappear ng tuluyan yung testigo ni Marcoleta. Dumating din pala mga kababayan ngayon sa latest na kaganapan sa Senado. Pumunta pa rin si Marcoleta. Ito si Marcoleta.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. I was a little bit excited this morning, Mr. Chair, nung makita ko yung 7th public hearing dahil nakita ko dun sa witnesses and resource persons. Yung new invitees is Congressman Ferdinand Martin Romualdez Sr. Only to be disappointed na hindi ko po siya nakita ngayon. And I also note, Mr. Chair, na ginamit po niyong basis, yung sulat po sa inyo ni Speaker Faustino Bojidi. Mr. Chair, hindi ko po masyadong makuha ang ibig sabihin ni Speaker Boji ng ito ang ginamit nila na para hindi padaluhin ang mga miyembro ng House of Representatives, subjecting them to a simultaneous legislative inquiry on the identical subject could potentially prejudice the findings of the ICI. Pasensya na po, Mr. Chair, pero hindi ko po talaga maintindihan yun. How can the findings of the ICI be prejudiced by their presence here? As a matter of fact, kahit na identical pa ito, ang atin pong mandate is in aid of legislation, and the ICI, I don't know what is their mandate. So, hindi po siya siguro justification. As I said, I was excited, pero ngayon po, kasi mas maganda sana kung nandito siya. It could have been more substantial sana. Having said that, Mr. Chair, siguro, isang araw na-process na natin ito kung ano ang dapat gawin talaga sa mga invitees na to. More particularly, the members of the House of Representatives that were initially mentioned at some point in several testimonies of the respondents that were invited by this committee. May I now proceed, Mr. Chair, to Engineer Bernardo. Kagaya po ng napansin sa pagtatanong ni Senator Kiko, ako din ay ganun din ang aking observation. Merong bahagi ng iyong salaysay na talaga namang very, very descriptive, talagang even the minutest detail. Ito'y mapapatotohanan sa dami ng mga pahina at mga saknong na binanggit mo. Kung halimbawa pag-uusapan, Senator Jingo Estrada, yung mga naunang senador na binanggit mo, iniisip namin ni Senator Kiko na dapat ganun din sana. Sa ganung paraan, makikita mo talagang walang pinagtatakpan, malinaw, na ibahagi mo talaga, nalalaman mo. Lalong-lalo na sa'yo, naintindihan ko sa tagal ng iyong paglilingkod sa DPWH, ikaw ay sagana na sa karamihan ng eksperyensya at pakikipag-ugnayan sa maraming tao, kaugnay ng iyong trabaho. Ito po, Mr. Chair, litaw na litaw, binanggit tatlong congressman and congresswomen dito. Talaga pong napakatipid po ninyo. Sa makatwid, dito lang po ay, kung ako ihahatol dito, meron po kayong deliberately na parang hindi na gusto pang ihayag yung maaring nalalaman po ninyo. Kaugnay po nito, Mr. Chair, nung tinatanong din ni Senator Kiko, kahit na mathematical lang or arithmetical estimation, kung talagang napakahalaga po nun eh. Initially, ito po yung mga nasa notes ko din. Nagkakaisa pala kami ng direksyon ng pagtatanong. Bakit kinakailangan sangguniin mo ang abogado mo at pagkatapos ay makikipag-ugnayan ka kay Prosecutor General? First of all, Mr. Chair, I want to know if the Prosecutor General was invited in this meeting.
May I respond, sir? Yes, I did not receive any personal invitation, Mr. Chair, but I was directed by the Secretary of Justice to appear in today's hearing to represent him, sir.
That is my problem, Mr. Chair. Ito po, nalilimitahan yung kakayahan ng committee ito na magpahayag ang mga respondents. Katulad nung tinatanong ni Senator Kiko, at yun doon gusto kong maitanong, bakit kinakailangan po na pigilan siya at some point on the things that he might be able to shed light to this committee? Ano ngayon kung halimbawa tamaan yung mga ibang tao sapagkat ito naman ay pagsasalaysay ng kanyang buong nalalaman? Ang totoo niyan, indicative na sa mga ibang pinagsasabi niya rito na gusto niya talaga. Gusto niyang ihayag ang buong katotohanan. Pero dahil ba sa he is a potential applicant to Witness Protection Program, may impluensyahan, malilimitahan ang kanyang exposure dito. Ito po yung hindi ko maintindihan, Mr. Chair. Why is the Department of Justice at some point is interfering in the proceedings of this committee? This is something that we should probably process. Kung ganun pala yun, hindi malayang supplemental affidavit ito. This is questionable to the very least. Sabi mo rito, Engineer Bernardo, statements of facts applicable to all. Sa Tagalog, pagsasalaysay na applicable sa lahat. Tama. Hindi kita narinig.
Sorry po, Mr. Chair. Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Kung ito'y pagsasalaysay ng applicable sa lahat, katulad ng binabanggit mo sa paragraph 9, I can confirm based on my personal knowledge that in some form or another or on various extents, most proponents have their own designated contractors who will take on the projects for the former's benefit and advantage. Sometimes other proponents would request me to suggest contractors for them who are known to me or referred to me by friends and other personalities. These are situations that national and local elected politicians would request me to source projects for them. Eh di dapat ihayag mo rin lahat. The problem is there is a prosecutor general who is not very interested in prosecuting people. He's very selective, Mr. Chair. This is something that is objectionable.
May I be allowed to respond, Mr. Chair?
You may respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I take exception to the observation of the good senator that the Department of Justice is interfering in the investigation being conducted by the committee. In fact, Mr. Chair, whatever limitations there are to the testimonies of this witness who is present here is not something which is being dictated by the Department of Justice, but by law that is covered by Republic Act 6981, particularly Section 7 thereof. It is not our intention to restrict his testimony, as in fact,
For
he
our
said-
education, kindly tell us what Section 7 is about.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Section 7 of RA 6981 clearly states confidentiality of proceedings. All proceedings involving application for admission into the program and the action taken thereon shall be confidential in nature. No information or documents or given or submitted in support thereof shall be released except upon written order of the department and of the proper court. Any person who violates the confidentiality of said proceedings shall upon conviction be punished with imprisonment of not less than 1 year, but not more than 6 years, and deprivation of the right to hold a public office or employment for a period of 5 years.
How can that provision apply?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we believe it will apply.
How can it apply? Tinatanong lang ni Sec Kiko, ni Senator Kiko, tinatanong lang namin, magkano ba lahat? How does provision apply? Mental picture about this.
To explain that, Mr. Chair, if I
How
may be
can
allowed.
that provision apply? Why would you limit the witness from telling at least an idea of how much it is?
Mr. Chair, in the earlier proceedings, the question asked by Senator Pangilinan was already addressed by this representation when we said that the witness may openly give a mathematical computation of what is based in the affidavit. There was no restriction given by the Department of Justice. I think that is on record, Mr. Chair.
Okay, why are you intervening?
Of the provisions of the law on confidentiality, sir, that is why it was referred to us. It was referred to us by the witness because he has
The matter of
memorandum of
giving us an
agreement.
estimate is a confidential matter?
No, precisely, Mr. Chair. That is the reason why we had already acceded to the request of Senator Pangilinan.
Mr. Chair,
Napalayo
With
na.
information of Senator
Just a
Marcoleta.
point of information for
Napalayo na yung
our colleagues.
yung
Yes,
discussion.
actually, I
Ginulo na
precisely
naman
pointed
po ni
out that
Marcolita.
it's already a document that was submitted to us, and all that Mr. Bernardo would do is to make a mathematical computation or an estimate.
Ang gustong mangyari ni Marcoleta, ituro yung mga congressmen. Bakit daw nakatotok sa mga senador? Possibly mga kababayan, ang simple explanation doon. To the knowledge ni sa personal knowledge niya, limitado yung kanyang kaalaman pagdating doon sa mga involvement ng mga congressmen. Kasi kanina, pinaliwanag na ni Bernardo, may kanya-kanyaan niya sa pagkakaalam ko, yung mga congressmen na makakausap din, mga district engineers at contractors. Ganon. Wala siyang personal knowledge. Kasi sa USEC, mataas siya. Mga kababayan, yun ang gustong sabihin mga kababayan ni Marcoleta. Siyempre, kung ano lang yung personal knowledge ni Yusek Bernardo, yun ang isusulat niya. May mahaba siyang detalye doon sa mga senador. Tama po? But anyway, ang dapat tanong, mga kababayan, kay Marcoleta, nasaan na si Gutesa na nagtuturo kay Martin Romualdez? Ba't hindi na nagpakita? Di ba? Yan ang malinaw mga kababayan. Anyway, yan man lang po muna.